This is John Cola with DiscountJuicers.com. We have a very special treat for you today. One of the requests I get so many times is, John, how can I juice ginger? So we got some ginger here, and this is a nice big ginger root piece. And we're going to juice that up today in the Hurom single auger style juicer. First, I want to mention that, most juicers will juice ginger. It just depends how efficient it'll be and if the juicer will be durable enough to juice ginger in the long run. I don't know what people do with ginger. I mean, juicing this much ginger, if you drank it straight, you'd probably get sick. It's really strong stuff, so you're going to see when I make my juice in a second, I'm going to just juice like that much. And trust me, a little bit of ginger goes really a long way, so I'm going to juice a little bit of this stuff in my drink or my juice that I'll be making. What I'll be making today is actually one of my favorite drinks. It's actually apples and lemons. And that's the main part, and then we're going to add some ginger, but then to, get some more vegetables in me, and to show you guys, I'm going to juice some red romaine lettuce. So I like to add many times red romaine lettuce, celery, or cucumbers to my juices. It basically adds some good vegetables and nutrition to the juice, besides just juicing, lots of fruits there. The other thing I have today that's really good for us too is turmeric root, and turmeric root's also a root vegetable. It's really good for us, high in antioxidants, but it's a lot easier to juice than ginger. Ginger has this nice fibrous structure, and the turmeric doesn't have that. So you could drop in whole pieces of turmeric into most any juicer, and you're not going to have a problem. So today we're going to use the Hurom HU100 vertical single auger style juicer. Now the Hurom HU100 is identical for the most part, and made in the same factory as the Omega Vert VRT330 model, and DiscountJuicers.com recommends the Omega Vert 330 over the Hurom HU100. Number one is just it's cheaper. The Omega Vert is less expensive, and number two, the Omega company has been in business in America for over 30 years and will be there in 10 years to support the warranty. Both these machines have a 10-year warranty. And the Hurom is basically a brand new company in the United States. They've only been in business for like a year. And so, and their only product is the Hurom juicer. So if they're not in business in 10 years, or 5 years, where's your warranty go? Anyways, something to think about. So, but today we're going to use a Hurom juicer. I don't have a whole lot of videos on the Hurom juicer on YouTube. You can definitely check my other videos on YouTube comparing the Omega Vert and the Hurom side by side, or just check out my other videos on the Omega Vert juicer, which is basically the same thing as the Hurom. So things that I put in here would actually work the same as in the Omega Vert, and likewise. So the accessories that come with the Hurom juicer, you get a couple parts in the box. Besides the instruction manual and DVD, you get a cleaning brush. The cleaning brush is very important to clean the screen, to get all the pulp dislodged from the screen. If you don't get all the pulp dries in there, what'll happen is it'll reduce your yield. It's not going to work very well. So definitely using the brush supplied is really good. The other thing you'll get, and let me go ahead and disassemble this to show, you get actually two screens. So this is a small hole screen used for vegetables, and this is a larger hole screen used for fruits, although you can use the small hole screen for fruits. Basically, the large hole screen gives you a pulpier juice. So this juicer is very easy to assemble and disassemble. This is the main body housing. We're going to go ahead and put that on the machine. So next you have the automatic wiping blade, which basically goes over the juicing screen, and this is a feature that no other juicer has except the Omega Vert or the Hurom. Basically this thing rotates around as you're juicing, and it's like windshield wipers for your car, but it's actually cleaning the juicing screen. And what this does is basically will provide you a higher yield, because in many juicers the screen may get clogged while you're juicing, and this one is proactive and will wipe it down so it won't get clogged. So then what you have also is the Altum auger. It's 8 times harder than other augers in many other single auger style juicers that just goes in here. So how this works is you put the produce in there, it chunks a piece off, and then the produce is worked into a smaller and smaller space, and the pulp finally gets ejected and the juice comes out of the screen. Works very well. So let's go ahead and put this in. When you're assembling the machine, there's a red dot on this assembly here and a red dot on the main body housing. You just need to simply align those dots, put it into place. Also with the machine, you get the pusher, and only ever put the pusher into the machine. If you put anything else into the machine, it may damage it. And then you have the top, or the top of the body housing. And there's a little arrow, gray arrow on the top of the machine. You need to line up with the red dot here on the machine and line that up and then turn it into place. It'll lock into place. One of the new improvements to the Hurrom is actually they're putting a little button cover over the on and off button, so that keeps the water from getting into the switch, which is really nice. So let's get juicing. The Hurrom HU100 runs at a low 80 RPMs. It's fairly quiet. You can hear it's really nice. So if you have kids that are sleeping, you get up in the morning, or roommates, you know, you could juice in peace in the morning without having to worry about waking them up. I have heard that some juicers sound like an airplane taking off in my kitchen, and the Hurrom or the Omega-Vert is not one of them. So first we're going to take some of this amazing romaine lettuce, and all you really need to do is just take off the leaves and feed them into the juicer. That's how easy it is. I really like to use different colors of foods. So you can see here I have actually some red romaine lettuce, not your standard green romaine. This is a red romaine lettuce. And you can see the juice coming out of the machine. It's a nice dark, deep red-green color. So the Hurrom juicer is handling juicing romaine lettuce without any problems. Though it's very important when using the Hurrom juicer to rotate the produce you're putting into the machine. So you can see we just put a lot of lettuce in there. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to put some apple. So now we're going to drop in some apple. Next, we're going to go ahead and put some lemons in there, and you can juice lemons and limes with the skin and all. Now, if you're juicing oranges, grapefruits, or tangerines, I recommend peeling them, or at least peeling off the coloring on the skin. The skin contains naturally occurring chemicals that'll give you really bad gas, indigestion, plus the bitter skin oils don't taste too good. But you can leave the white pith part on the produce. It's really good for us. A lot of nutrients there. So it's very important with the Hurrom juicer and the Omega-Vert juicer is not to add any more produce into the machine until you can't see it down the feed chute. You need to let the machine work and work the produce through the machine. If you juice too fast, you'll get more pulp in your juice, and it may cause a backup condition, which is not good either. So just slow down a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and continue to juice some red romaine lettuce. I also like to juice the romaine hearts. That adds a nice, pleasant flavor to my juices. So we juiced a couple leaves of romaine. Now we're going to drop an apple in there. Some more romaine leaves. And look at all that juice we're getting just out of this romaine and some apples. I mean, it's a lot of juice. This machine is very efficient. You can check out this pulp here. I can squeeze this pulp and it's really dry. It's doing a really excellent job. So we put some romaine. Now we're going to do an apple. Let's do some more lemon here. Another piece of lemon, skin and all. And I do recommend using organic produce whenever possible, or growing your own produce without the use of pesticides and synthetic chemicals and fertilizers. Another question I get a lot is, hey John, can I save my juice in the fridge? And well, the best answer that I could give you is it's best not to save your juice in the fridge. It's best to drink your juice right after it's made. This is for a very important reason. Once you start breaking open all the cell walls of the produce, the nutrients are exposed to air. And much like, when you cut an apple open, the apple starts to turn brown. It's oxidizing, and when it's oxidizing, there's not as much nutrition in it for us. So to get the highest benefit from fresh juices, we want to drink the juices as soon as possible after they're made. And you're saying, well, hey John, I got a job. I got to work 9 to 5. Well, then if you make the juice right in the morning, get up early, right before you go to work, fill up a thermos, keep that thermos cold in the freezer, fill it up all the way to the brim, and overflow it, then put the top on so that there's no extra airspace, and then keep it cold and then take it to work. If that's the best you can do, that's great, but I highly encourage you to bring your juice into work and juice on your breaks in the break room. That'd be really cool. Let's go for the ginger. It's very important. A little bit of ginger goes a long way, so we're just going to cut off a little bit of ginger here. Alright, so that's my piece of ginger, very little. We're going to drop that in the machine and see what happens. No, we missed, alright. Let's drop it in the machine and see what happens. Whoop, there it is. All right, look at that. It's juicing it, no problem. The juice is coming out. Now that's some very potent juice. So let's go ahead and continue juicing romaine, apples, and our ginger and lemons. It's going to be so good. And it looks like our juice cache container is really full. So the recipe I used today was 1 head of organic red romaine lettuce, 4 golden delicious organic apples, 1 organic lemon, and some ginger root in there. It's probably just about done here. We could go ahead and turn the machine off. And what I like to do at the end is just take the juicer and then pour out the excess. Alright, so here's my juice this morning. Man, that's a good juice. Well, a little bit of ginger goes a long way. So this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors.